Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So I hope all you guys had a great weekend. Over the weekend, we did see a bit of a price dip for the crypto market. I've got XRP up here right now on the charts, 34.8. In the last couple of days, we have seen a bit of a turnover. Now, compared to the rest of the crypto space, XRP, crossing my fingers, is holding up very nicely. We have this largish negative selling volume here. But the price of XRP still staying above what I consider now very important resistance within that micro time frame. So we are above that price when the market cratered back in June. But the same cannot be said for cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, the king crypto, now flirting with this new level of support on the micro time frame, which is roughly 15,600. Bitcoin's right now trading at $16,000 per coin. So we did see a bit of a tumble, market cap right now just under $800 trillion, and Bitcoin dominance still holding at about 38.8%. Over the last 24 hours, we have seen a bit of a dive in crypto. As I mentioned, Bitcoin down 2.8, Ethereum's down about 3.6. We've got BNB coin down 3.4, XRP down 6.9. We've got other coins like Cardano down 4.1, Dogecoin down 7.4. And so, it's variable across the entire market, even though XRP is down 6.9, almost 7% in the last 24 hours. Like I mentioned earlier, price still maintaining above that micro level of support. I'm seeing that as a positive on the short term. This FTX fallout obviously has had a huge impact on the markets. And now I'm hearing rumors that some people are having trouble getting their coins off certain exchanges. I don't know if you guys have had, similar experiences like that. If you do, please do put it down in the comment section. I always like to know kind of, what other people are seeing, even if they're not posting it on Twitter. But people were sending me their experiences, and, that in conjunction with ledger sales just kind of skyrocketing, not just from noticing how many people have been using my affiliate link, which again, I thank you all for using that. But even Ledger came out on Twitter and made a comment, and have been making several comments over the last few days now saying, we are overwhelmed. So, if we can't get to you right away, we apologize. This, that, and the other. Anyway, I'm noticing a big shift, and I do think this is getting a lot of people scared. The other thing I wanted to mention was a viewer did bring this to my attention. There were reports that the payment volume on the XRP ledger that I talked a little bit about yesterday was actually from a separate bank for international settlements test on the XRP ledger. Unfortunately, when I was recording that, I was trying to check XRP charts to confirm, but the website wasn't loading. So I do want to thank that viewer, David, for letting me know. Also thought, I would mention that to you guys. Doesn't take away from the fact, though, that we did see more than 17 banks close over the weekend, and I was getting even more reports from you guys as the day was going on. Unfortunately, I wasn't near my computer. I was helping my mother-in-law all day yesterday, so I just wanted to thank you guys for updating me on some of that stuff. I want to keep moving. Ian Binns here posting this. So to talk about the FTX thing a little bit more with respect to Ripple, demonstrating the robustness of the company, CEO Brad Garlinghouse received an unexpected call from the now disgraced founder of FTX, Sam Bankman-Fried, just before the bankruptcy. Garlinghouse did tell Sunday Times SBF called him and asked if Ripple would be interested in buying some of FTX's assets. And Garlinghouse's response was basically this. Part of my conversation was if he needs liquidity, maybe there are businesses that he has bought or he has that we would want to own. Would we have bought some of those from him? Definitely. I think that was on the table. However, Brad Garlinghouse did go on to say that the bankruptcy did kind of make those plans null and void. CEO Brad Garlinghouse is reportedly interested in buying certain parts of the collapsed crypto exchange FTX on the sidelines of Ripple's Swell conference in London. The former FTX CEO Sam Bankman-Fried called him 2 days before the company filed for bankruptcy and sought to round up investors to rescue the business. The Ripple CEO said during the call, the two discussed if there were any FTX-owned businesses that Ripple would want to own. Right, just mentioned that. However, Garlinghouse now does admit that FTX has filed for, now that they've filed for Chapter 11, in the United States, a potential transaction for an FTX business will be very different than it would have been one-to-one. I'm not saying we don't look at those things. I'm sure we will. But it's a harder path to transact, he says. Approximately 130 companies affiliated with FTX, including FTX.US, were included in the bankruptcy filing in Delaware. So it doesn't look like that is on the table anymore. However, Sam Bankman-Fried was making the rounds and did ask Ripple for money. Brad Garlinghouse saying, it's definitely, or was definitely on the table, at least at that time. And so, in and amongst this crypto collapse, this crypto turmoil that we are currently witnessing, it gives me confidence that Ripple still maintains, in my opinion, the standard, the gold standard, maintains to be that gold standard in the cryptocurrency world as everything seems to be crashing and burning around us. This is a $10+ billion company that had absolutely no problem spending $100 million on legal fees, and that's real money, by the way. Those lawyers really did have to get paid. So to know this kind of thing, I don't think we need the peace of mind to know that we are invested in one of the best cryptocurrencies out there, especially now considering, all the things that have come down the pipe. We're also seeing stories like this, right? To add to the FTX fiasco, BondCrypt XRP posted this. Some more shocking findings from FTX's bankruptcy filing. In the wake of the crypto exchange collapse, more discoveries have been made about the company's governance and management system. A detailed examination of the firm's bankruptcy filings has shown that FTX was a slush fund masquerading as a real business. So this was reported by Fox as part of the 30-page long filing revealed that FTX Group did not have an appropriate disbursement control system. Employees submitted expense requests through online chats, while supervisors and managers approved them with personalized emojis. Most decisions were made via chats, and FTX founder and former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried reportedly encouraged employees to use apps that automatically deleted the messages after a while, hence the absence for lasting records of decision-making. So I touched a little bit on some of these points in a video I did a couple of days ago. Here's one of the more shocking points that I think would have gotten investors in FTX pretty enraged. FTX did not have a cash management system. Hence, the firm did not know the amount of cash at hand at any given time. The lack of a centralized cash control system meant the firm had no accurate list of its bank accounts and account signatories. Also, the exchange did not pay attention to credit worthiness of its banking partners. So basically a complete shit show, and this ran the gamut. They were loaning out user funds, not even keeping track of any of it. In addition, crypto assets deposited by customers were not recorded on the balance sheet, and at bankruptcy, the balance of such assets was not presented. So, not even an organized scam, which again, of course, if you do believe that these guys are connected to a bigger purpose for the United States to be able to kind of come down on cryptocurrencies, I don't doubt for a second that that could be the case. Also consider this, we've got Brett Harrison, he was the president of FTX US, and this clip was from August 31st, 2022. We know that the SEC is also working on their own proposal for regulation of crypto markets, and classification of certain crypto tokens as securities. Digital Asset Buy asks, they are. I thought Gary Gensler said it was very clear already in the United States. Congress, you need to put Gary Gensler in front of you and ask him what he was speaking to the FTX guys about. Obviously, he is saying one thing to them and another to the rest of the market, similar to the way Clayton and the SEC did with Ethereum.
We know that the SEC is also working on their own proposal for regulation of crypto markets and classification of certain crypto tokens as securities. So it's an exciting area, and we're going to see a lot of progress in that area over the next 1 to 2 years.
So it is interesting we are getting this comment from Brett Harrison, who I'm assuming is no longer the CEO at FTX US, considering they just did go bankrupt, or at least they're filing right now. Crypto Eddie here posting this, dragging your feet. Gary Gensler is no way to regulate the world's largest financial market. Irresponsible. We've also got Raoul Pal here speaking out against the SEC specifically, and even brings it in, talks about it in relation to XRP and XRP holders.
I hope Gary Gensler loses his fucking job, because his dragging of his feet and saying we're just going to prosecute anybody that I choose to prosecute in retrospect is no way to regulate the world's largest financial market. It's irresponsible. It's not fair on individuals. It's not fair to shut people out. What they did with XRP, suddenly decided in retrospect, we're going to basically shut them out of the US system. There's a bunch of retail investors who are holding it. They're forced out, or they're forced not to be able to trade their tokens. It's inexcusable. You need to create better guidelines for people. And it needs to be reasonable regulation. You need to listen to the industry and not shut them out and claim that you know what you're doing for your own self-interest of your job. So that's my Gary Gensler rant.
This is all coming to a head, guys. The boiling point is getting very close. And, the FTX thing clearly is triggering a lot of panic in the industry for good reason. But now we're also getting these big players coming out and saying, look, what the heck is going on? I feel like the chatter was at a minimum, let's say 9 months to about a year ago. Sure, I mean, Ripple was in court with the SEC and the XRP community. Obviously, we're talking about it. But now that the FTX thing has happened, I'm feeling like that voice has been amplified. And now it's feeling like guys like Gary are being called to task and might actually have to step up and make some hard decisions. Crypto Vinso here also posting this, okay? So with regards to the FTX thing, we also talked a little bit about Kevin O'Leary and his stance and how he even said that he would invest in Sam Bankman-Fried again. And we were just kind of scratching our heads thinking to ourselves, what the heck? Why would you do this? Anyway, Crypto Vinso here posting this. So Mark Cuban, okay, so just speaking, to the point of the crypto industry and the fact that a lot of these guys, even the big money, were fooled. Well, we have now Mark Cuban, who happens to be one of Kevin O'Leary's Shark Tank colleagues. Mark Cuban has begun unfollowing all crypto-related accounts he was previously following. So this is the big tech alert Twitter page here, Twitter handle, and he has been following Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban apparently unfollowed Uniswap, Dapper Labs, unfollowed Flow Blockchain, and unfollowed DeFi Pulse as well. So that's just a few here. I don't know if there have been any more, but those are just 4 that he has made note of. Ben Armstrong at BitBoy_crypto is also calling out O'Leary here. So CoinDesk did an interview with Kevin O'Leary where he explained that the Celsius network would go to zero. He goes on to say, let me let you guys in on a secret. This was orchestrated by Kevin and FTX. So, wow. Them some accusations. You guys ready for the news that's going to rock the crypto world? Okay, so he posted this article. This was an article from June, okay, when Kevin O'Leary was talking about the Celsius collapse. This was around the time Luna collapsed as well. He basically said in this clip, Celsius will go to zero. O-Shares investment chairman Kevin O'Leary predicts, but it's not enough. You need bigger players to collapse for the market to be more educated, more institutional, more stable. And now all of a sudden, we cannot find that article on CoinDesk, at least as per Ben. FTX crashed Celsius. This is his assertion. Let's examine what FTX did with New Genesis, Newcoin, and Reef. In both cases, FTX/Liquid counterfeited their coins on the exchange's marketplace to control the supply and manipulate the price. This is factual and proven, not speculation. Kevin O'Leary, SBF, and FTX colluded to push the price of Cell down and started the downfall of Celsius. They did this through a negative media campaign combined with inflating the supply of tokens to short it down to nothing basically, then swoop in and buy the company. Hard to find the interview. Now comes a link in the CoinDesk article and it says that it's broken. But if you lost money / have frozen assets on the Celsius network, you can blame Kevin O'Leary as he was clearly in on an active participant of crashing Celsius. Demand an explanation from him. So Ben Armstrong coming out here, calling out Kevin O'Leary. Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed did find this article. It was also posted on their Facebook page. Here's what Kevin O'Leary said at that time. And just a couple of weeks ago, I did also play this clip in one of my videos, but let me play it again for you guys, just to give you guys some more context.
In the case of Celsius, it is going to go to zero. It's over-levered. It's gated now. And the trouble with gating, a good example would be a hedge fund. Every single customer wants to be liquid the minute you open the gate. And so it's a self-realizing outcome. It will go to zero. It'll have no assets. But that's important. It's not enough. It's not big enough. I'm looking for something bigger. Somebody out there is in trouble. We don't know who they are yet. We'll find out soon. It'll probably happen in the next 30 days. Some giant player is going to zero because this is the first time applying leverage to an asset class that most people assumed wouldn't be this volatile, but has proven to be volatile yet again. And I say all this, and it's important that this happens. It's bad for the individual investors, but in the context of making this market more educated, more institutional, more stable, with better price discovery and less leverage, you need these players to go to zero. So Celsius, thank you for your sacrifice. They'll go to zero.
Kevin made this statement in June. Meanwhile, Ben accusing Kevin O'Leary of being part of this collapse. Okay, shocking. Kevin O'Leary bombshell. I'm hearing he was visited by a group of people who are forcing him to say positive things about SBF under the threat of physical violence and blackmail. Things that make you go, I talked about this in a video I did last week, guys. I'll find that video and I'll link it up here in the top right-hand corner. Could it have something to do with these two? I don't know. Ben Armstrong, when asked for a source, he says basically he has two separate sources on this. So, I mean, we've got to trust Ben for what it's worth. Ben did call the FTX collapse and the fact that Sam Bankman-Fried was essentially a criminal. And at that time, I got to give Ben credit. He was correct. So he does have sources. He does have inside sources. And now this is what he's claiming. He says, he says one guy he trusts specifically, and the other source that he has is an extremely connected one. So, I mean, we can take this for what it is worth. Let me continue. Ben Armstrong said, a friend sent me Kevin O'Leary's personal cell phone number last night. I verified it is 100% correct. I won't give it out, so do not ask. I tried calling him to straighten things out before I went after him. He wouldn't pick up, so I left him a text. And then he posted the text message chain. You should probably go delete that retweet. Nothing you can do to stop what's coming. But just for your own sake, tap out yet, or have you thought about reading the room? If I know 100 people who know you, 96 of them say you are a bad guy. Oops, 94, says Ben Armstrong over here. So he posted a poll, if you guys are looking at the screen. Kevin is right. SBF is great. Only 6% did vote that way. Meanwhile, Kevin is wrong and SBF is Satan. And 94% voted for that. Meanwhile, Kevin O'Leary is lashing back on Twitter. He says, bring it on, bozo. I eat guys like you for lunch unless there are too many calories. I'm trying to keep my Adonis figure in shape. So a bit of a brawl here. Ben Armstrong continuing this. I think CoinDesk has some explaining to do. Kevin O'Leary says panic event is needed before crypto bottoms. Again, that was from that video clip, that article that I had mentioned. And then he goes into the JavaScript here to show that he did in fact find the archived article, but the video cannot be found. However, it has, luckily it has been posted on other venues. Kevin O'Leary says this FBF situation has the excrement produces working overtime. I guess he meant producers. This is total BS. Andrew's responding to this. Imagine backing Sam Bankman-Fried after all that happened. That means having zero integrity. Maddog28 here saying, I'm sure some of other people's money went to Kevin O'Leary to endorse FTX and SPF. Wait until the money trail comes out. It always does. Maybe we should be looking into Kevin's money trail. I sure think there are some skeletons in his financials that wouldn't want to be revealed. And Ben Armstrong responding here, you literally said Sam is a good guy and have the audacity to call me excrement. It's been 10 minutes and I've already almost ratioed you, Kev. Also, you are accusing some people of not producing excrement. I'm unaware of this affliction. Constipation is a temporary situation from what I have gathered. So guys, it keeps heating up. Crypto Cowboy here also just posting some of Kevin O'Leary's startup company, some of his investments. So we can continue to follow this story. Kevin O'Leary's startup company, O'Leary Ventures, is invested in WonderFi alongside Alameda Research. He's also invested in Mistin Labs, and here are a few more from Kevin O'Leary's list. Okay, so WonderFi, O'Leary Ventures, it's a private company owned by Kevin O'Leary. They actively look at startup businesses, and they're looking to build the next great O'Leary company. So Mistin Labs, WonderFi, Plated is another one. And here are a few more that are linked to Mistin Labs specifically. And then we've got WonderFi over here, one of their investors, Alameda Research, along with some more to round off that list. As you guys can see, and as you probably already know, Kevin O'Leary does invest in a lot of companies, and he has invested in a lot of crypto companies, including Binance Labs. So maybe hedging? What does this all mean at the end of the day, guys? I think we could possibly see some more pain for the crypto market. Luckily, XRP is holding up fairly well. I think we got to sit tight, hodl. Make sure you keep your cryptocurrency safe on a cold wallet storage solution and buy up the discounts as they keep coming. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.